Hello, my name is Dr. Shambles, and this should be a quick video, okay? I'm recording this a bit in the morning because I kind of just got up. I booted my computer, and guess what? My boss updated the sim to include the most recent cards, so we have our 5-cost category. This was so good, thank you so much, because I wasn't finding a way to print out the cards for proxies to test them out, so this came very clutch, okay? So I've been testing a little bit, I did not record it, but I've been testing it a little bit, and so this video will not be the part 3 of the new updated category deals. Will just be another kind of video, you know, it'll just be a little side video, just updating the deck list after some testing. So, let me just place this. First and foremost, slow beam, sorry, I think it's, yeah, exactly, no beam, that's how it is here in the sim. I was kind of right. It is harder to actually play it. Still is an insane card, but I feel like if we wanted it to play it, we would have to play Parasparrow at 4. Parasparrow is the only guy giving us Active Dawn, and right now we are not really getting Active Dawn enough to have 2. Okay, that is pretty much it. So I decided to remove another Beam Sword. 4, we're going to claim the One Piece. This, I made it right away because there was just like 3 games where I was finding another Beam, and it's just a dead card, okay? Next problem we have, Mamaragan. I need to remove this. Reasons why. I already knew all about this, by the way, but the Katakuri and Pudding effect are mandatory, which means, let's imagine I'm at 9 Dawn. I use like leader ability to look at the top of my opponent's top deck, -1 Dawn. This will make me at 8 Dawn. Now, it is mandatory, I am obligated to activate both of these effects. Which means that I activate Katakuri, I go to 10 Dawn, and I activate Pudding, which doesn't give me any Dawn. It's mandatory. So, when I used my Moragan, it was actually giving me -2 Dawn. Which is unfortunate. Not only that, because we ramp so much with Pudding, Katakuri, and both categories, what would happen was Mamaragan, when I'm using during my opponent's turn, he would just be a 1k. So, I'm not saying he had use, he had no use, he did have use, but how do I explain this? Every time I wanted to play it, I didn't have Gamma Knife, so I didn't have any good targets, and when I have Gamma Knife, I wouldn't have Mamaragan as well. Then when I finally activated this, I was actually going down on Dawn, which sometimes would stop me from using 10-cost Link when I had in hand, or the 9-cost Link, by the way. And so at some point, it almost becomes a dead card, so I'm gonna remove it, okay? Obviously, again, I need to specify this. This will not be the final deck list, but it is already a more optimal deck list, okay? Now, about Shard Link and 10-cost Link ratios. We're now gonna get into a portion of the video where I answer a lot of your most frequently asked questions, okay? There were 2 most frequently asked. Let's go for the first one, which is about the Links. People are asking me if the 9-cost Link combo is so strong, why I play 3 and not 4. Very simple, because this 10-cost Link still has so much value thanks to its rush and thanks to his ability to make your leader 7k power during your opponent's turn. This used to be stronger, by the way, but right now in this current meta there are a lot of leaders, that can make themselves 7k, some 8k, 6k, you know. They always have some power bump in their leader, even if it's only during their turn, for example Red Ace, the new Red Ace. So making yourself 7k still is good, not as good, but still good. But I would focus on the Rush 12k character. Because you ramp so much, you can play Lily, and if you have in the very next turn, if you have the 10 Lily, you drop the 10 Lily, and that's it. A problem I found with this, by the way, with this combo, is we do not have Katakuri on the field when we do this. It is a very strong combo, and I would still give priority to Liling over Katakuri if we do the 3-cost pudding and the 5-cost Katakuri combo to put us at 9 Dawn. But you do kind of miss it because you cannot restand any of your characters. But obviously, if this Katakuri gets KO'd, you can replace them with this, or best case scenario, this, which, as incredible as it seems, I haven't been able to do. I haven't been able to replace my Katakuri with a pudding. I never have it in hand. But yeah, so these ratios will stay. The 2 Gamma Knife, I am gonna keep playing it at 2. I would keep this card. I would not play any of these cards. Let me just show you. I wouldn't play any of these removal cards. Most decks right now have a lot of anti-removal. And so, like, playing any of these would hurt you. So you might as well just decrease their power. And you do spam board, by the way. This is where the deck got good at. If you didn't see the first video, I kind of called it. I said, I feel like this deck is going in the direction where you just spam board, and then you use your swings to control the board if you need to, and then you split the other swings onto your opponent's life. This feels like a very weird control deck now. I'm not saying this is a control deck, this is probably just an aggro deck, but I did feel like many times I was swinging with my big bodies onto board, chipping away your opponent's hand, and then finally going for game. But yeah, Gamma Knife still will stay here. I am actually thinking about bumping it to 3. For now, it'll stay at 2. Sparrow, last video we were playing him at 3. I show you guys him at 3. I'm gonna play him at 2. He's still very good, again, to give us that active Dawn. This will now be even better because I'm not playing the Slow Beam Sword anymore. I'm just gonna be playing the when 2 men are fighting. The last thing I need is some alpha as assistance. Jesus. So yeah. Katakuri at 4, really, I loved it. Even there were times where I had 2 and I didn't have anything to replace them with. I just kept them in my hand. Sooner or later, I just compensate the turn with him. So I absolutely love him at 4. So now we just need to update the rest now that we took out Mamaragan and the Soul Beam. First and foremost, I feel like this deck needs to play 12 2Ks. I'm sorry. This feels like there were many times where I was taking lives before I could set up my board, and like having 2Ks to help me out a little bit is good. And lastly, I'm gonna add one more of this. So the ratios will be split in 2, 2, 2, 2. Now, what I was thinking was not play this at 2, but place this at 3. I can test that, I will test that, but for now, the official deck list that I'm presenting to you guys shall be this one. The deck does feel much better. There are still some matchups where you still struggle a lot. For example, Purple NL still is one of them. Blue Yanal Nami, I didn't actually test it because I got into a game and I played like my first 2 turns and then the guy left, so I guess he had somewhere to go. So I need to still test some of the best yellow decks, but the deck is much better, and I can't wait to see the other SR. The way I feel is, this is how the deck feels right now. You spam board, and then you try to with that board, like, you spam so fast, by the way. At some point, I had like so many 7Ks and 8K bodies, even 9K bodies, and I would just attach Dawn and just get rid of anything very easily, to be honest. So for now, that's how the deck is gonna work. Gamma Knife, again, because you spam board so much, so well as well, having 2 Dawn is somewhat easy later in the game, which is when you start controlling the game, which is why I kind of wanted to play it at 3, but for now we'll keep it at 2. Also, there has been situations where I wanted to have the 1-cost events here, the 5K events, and I didn't. That's why I'm bumping it to 2. So yeah, I feel like this is the best split version of the deck. We no longer have that many bricks. Let's count them up. So that's for 8, 10, 10, 14 here, 14, 16, 16, 18. If we want to count this, 20, but I know I don't really count this. This is clutch. But yeah, so 20 is not bad. Usually some decks have 20, some other decks have 19, some other decks have 21. At 21, that's when we have kind of a problem. But 20 feels right. This deck does not have an option. Besides, there's another SR coming. I believe that SR will either replace this or replace this. I don't think he'll replace anything else. There's some speculation that he'll replace Pudding. It'll be just a power crept Pudding. That would be nice, not gonna lie. That would be kind of insane. But let's see. Now, I told you guys that I was going to get into the portion where I answered some of your guys' most asked questions. And I kind of forgot the other one, which is actually the most asked question. I answered you guys the Liling ratios question. Now I'm gonna answer the Parasparrow. A lot of you guys asked me, why do I still play Parasparrow? Do I really need to? Yes, this deck still has a little bit of problem of consistency, which is why I'm playing 2. We're going to claim the One Piece. I would not play more than 3 of this search event because at some point it starts going against the other ratios of what we want to see. And this is the same with Parasparrow. We played 2 Parasparrow because we had somewhat of a problem with consistency. Our combos are very extensive. We need 3 card combos, we need 2 card combos, and so finding all of them is very hard, and so we need to have some card in our deck that adds some flexibility to our combos. Those cards are, we're going to claim the One Piece to help us search one more time at least, have a little bit more search. Now we have 10 searches. And we have Parasparrow at 2. So in case we don't find this Katakuri, or we don't find maybe Pudding, that's very bad if you don't find Pudding, by the way. That's what I'm gonna talk about next. Or if we don't find any of our later in the game bodies. So we would still like to play Pudding at 7 Dawn, if we didn't manage to do the very big combo into the 9 Liling. And then next turn, if we don't have Katakuri or the Lilings, we do play Parasparrow. We go a bit more mid-range, you know. Remember, this category is insane, so we could go mid-range by playing Parasparrow, playing 2-cost Kata, going into a 5-cast, or maybe an 8-Kata. Who knows? If we have it on the head as well, like that would add flexibility and would actually be even better. So yeah, that's why you keep it at 2. I was playing at 3. I think that was a mistake, especially after testing it a little bit. But yeah, now it feels much better. I'm gonna test this a little bit now. It does look much better, again, after I tested. The only things I really wanted to play more was I would love to add one more Gamma Knife here. I think playing 3 Gamma Knives would be very good. Let's imagine, this is just a small thought that could happen. Let's imagine people were right and Pudding will get replaced by an SR that was a power crept Pudding. Like, even if it was just another 3-cost Pudding that instead of giving us 1 Dawn, we give us 2 Dawn, we could already take away Parasparrow and this Pudding to play 3 Gamma Knives. And then would add maybe a 3rd, we're going to claim the One Piece. Why? Parasparrow here is also a little bit more to enable some combos. So you play 3-cost Pudding, you don't find Katakuri, maybe you find Parasparrow, you play Parasparrow, you ramp 1 Dawn, which next turn, if you don't have 7 Pudding, you have at least to play 8 Katakuri. And so that's why he's here. That's one of the main reasons. But if we would get a better Pudding, we just replace him and just play the Pudding, which already gives us a ramp of 1 Dawn, okay? That's pretty much it, that we would have 2 in 1. So yeah, but I really love Parasparrow. Actually, I wouldn't mind if the other SR would be a power crept Parasparrow. We could have that instead of having a Liling, since we already have this 9 Liling, which is pretty insane in the deck, by the way. That could happen. I would be happy. One of the Charlottes that I really wanted to have in the deck was Cracker, but that would usually mean that you'd have to have those Biscuit Soldiers in the deck as well. That's usually the interaction. But yeah, we'll see. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed. If you did, like and subscribe. Comment what you think of this deck list. Comment what you think is coming next onto the video. Onto the deck. What's the other SR? Maybe some other cards that we are not expecting. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.